What is guardianship? None of the above? All of the above. We all know that. That's a picture of Mrs. Astor, one of the famous cases involving guardianship. We're going to come back to that in part 2. All right. All guardianships are the same, different, or I really don't know. C. Okay, this is the easy part of our program, right? There are 4 basic types of guardianship in New York. There actually are more, but we're going to focus on Article 81 and Article 83 today. Article 17A, I'll talk about a little bit, and 17. What is 17A? 17A is a guardianship for someone who is intellectually and developmentally or developmentally disabled. This used to be known as the guardianship for the mentally retarded. We only changed that a few years ago. It is very different than in Article 81. It is medically driven. That means you have to have a diagnosis, which means that you are in some way determined by law to be disabled. No hearing is required. And what basically happens is when a child who has been under the control of a custodial parent turns 18 and can no longer be under the parent's control, they will rush to create a 17A guardianship. Sometimes it's done a lot earlier than that, particularly for the very, very developmentally disabled. This is a plenary guardianship. Mark my words. What is a plenary guardianship? Your rights are gone. You have lost all of your civil rights. You make no decisions on your own regarding health care, regarding finances. And it doesn't end when you turn 18. Remember, you can get a 17A that's at the age of 18 that's going to follow someone till they're 21, 22. There's a lot of controversy about this. We'll talk about that if we have time at the end. 17A, guardian of an infant. Has anyone dealt with these? It's more of a trust and estates thing. Anyone who's done these? Somebody inherits a lot of money, they're in an auto accident, and they get a large judgment. Those are where you're going to find a guardian of the infant. And it's a very different animal, and it's for a very specific purpose. It's to manage that particular sum of money that person has inherited, that child has inherited. Guardian ad litem. Anyone familiar with that? If you practice real estate, landlord-tenant court, for example, will often appoint a guardian ad litem, where there is somebody in landlord-tenant court, you're trying to get an eviction, and that person who is before the judge, who may be a hoarder, who may have mice in their apartment, who is in the lobby of the co-op all the time, who may be exposing themselves in the elevator. This is real life, right? They are deemed by that judge to need assistance in representing themselves in court. So for the limited purpose of representing themselves in court, the judge will assign a guardian ad litem to assist that person. They have no power over anything else except to help that person in the legal proceeding. Now, the meat and potatoes. 81, Article 81 of the Mental Hygiene Law, known to us in the biz as Article 81. It allows for the appointment of a guardian based on clear and convincing evidence. You must demonstrate to have the appointment of a guardian that the person is in need of a guardian for either personal care or for management of property. So there are two kinds of guardians: personal needs guardian and property management guardian. When you do your petition, you ask for one or both, and you have to give the reasons why. There are also special guardians for a limited purpose. Let's say you've got this individual who is not capable of managing the sale of their $3 million landmark home on the Upper East Side. The court could appoint a guardian for the limited and specific purpose of that sale, assisting with that sale, or creating a trust for a specific purpose. Time limited, specific to a particular need. Temporary guardian, we talked about someone in a coma. 50 years old, you're in a coma, your plane goes down, you're burned over 80% of your body, you can't speak for yourself, you haven't done, silly you, your healthcare proxy, your living will, and you're not married. And you haven't done a power of attorney. You need a guardian. A guardian can be appointed for you for the period of time that you are in a coma. If you come out of it, then there's a proceeding to have it removed. Temporary guardianship. Article 83, talk about it very little at the end, but this is new, and thank goodness, particularly for those of you who are in the trust and estates and tax and real estate, because it allows guardianship to be recognized in New York where there are out-of-state, the original guardianship was created in another state.